You were that smart kid, praised for easily mastering things, understanding concepts quickly, and excelling in skills. But now you feel a bit stuck, lost, or disconnected, even though you know deep down you're truly capable and intelligent. That early promise, however, often feels like a fading illusion. Why do so many bright people, once set for success, feel behind, unmotivated, or struggle to connect? You might even wonder, what happened to me? Today, we'll explore a common pattern many intelligent people face. You'll soon understand why you might feel this way and how to turn that feeling around to build a more real, fulfilling life. We'll uncover the hidden roots of this pattern and transform them for your profound transformation. Let's begin. Who are you really? Think back. How'd you see yourself as a kid? Identity was pretty simple, right? But then came the label, "You're so smart." That praise really stuck, becoming a huge part of how you saw yourself. Felt amazing, life seemed easier, things clicked quickly. But here's the crucial question. What was really being praised? Often it was effortless success. You got cheered for solving problems fast, acing tests without even trying, understanding stuff instantly. Over time, that constant praise built up a pretty risky belief inside you. If I'm smart, things should always be easy for me. This sets you up for trouble. When something isn't easy, a real struggle, or you just don't grasp it right away, it feels like a total attack on who you are. That inner fight makes you avoid anything tough, anything that might make you look less than perfect. This leads to a fragile identity. When your sense of self is built on easy wins, it breaks easily. You avoid situations where success isn't guaranteed, not from laziness, but to protect that smart person image. You stick to what you know, perfecting familiar skills instead of trying new things. Sound familiar? Like you're kind of stuck in a shrinking comfort zone. The standoff, perfectionism, and comparing yourself. All right, let's dig deeper into how this fragile identity can play out. Ever notice how you lean towards perfectionism not to be awesome, but because it totally paralyzes you? For many smart kids, perfectionism isn't about doing your best. It's about avoiding that awful feeling of not measuring up. What holds you back from that big project or new skill? Often it's fear. The fear your hard work won't be perfect. If not perfect, what does that say about you? This fuels the perfectionism procrastination loop. You delay starting, scared of imperfection, then rush, ensuring less than perfect work, which proves you fail when you try, making you more afraid next time. Does this resonate? This loop feels safe, but it keeps you small, stopping growth. Then there's that sneaky comparison spiral. It hurts, doesn't it, watching your friends and peers succeeding while you feel stuck? For us, this comparing isn't just a disappointment. It's a direct threat to our identity. Their success feels like your failure. This isn't just envy. It's a misunderstanding of how real success works. You're comparing your struggles to their highlight reel and their willingness to visibly struggle against your need to look effortless. Many with less potential pass us because they're willing to be bad long enough to get good. The spiral gets nastier, comparing yourself to the old you, the effortless achiever. This creates a no-win situation where today's you can never quite measure up to that idealized past self. By the end of this bit, I really want you to think, what's one thing you're willing to try that you've been totally avoiding? The big hurdle, scared to start over. This brings us to a very important point in our discussion, the fear of hitting the reset button. There comes a moment when you just know something has to change, but then that paralyzing question pops up. Is it just too late? For many of us who were the smart kid, the idea of starting fresh feels especially terrifying. You're not just a beginner, you might feel like a fallen prodigy, someone who should know better, who should be way further along, who already had their shot. This is what we call the cognitive dissonance of growth, that inner resistance to becoming a beginner, which is totally necessary for learning new skills. When you try a new hobby or a tough challenge, do you ever find yourself trying it once, getting frustrated when you're not instantly amazing, and then just deciding you don't have the natural talent for it? And then, do you just retreat back to your comfortable zone, overthinking everything instead? Why this pattern? We often take struggling at something new as a personal insult to our whole life story. We expect our intelligence to magically transfer to new areas. And when it doesn't, we take it as proof that we're just not built for it instead of simply being inexperienced. This is a real crossroads where a lot of brilliant people get permanently stuck. You can keep clinging to an identity that's not helping you anymore, or you can embrace the uncomfortable but truly liberating truth. Being a beginner again is the only way forward. Your intelligence isn't the problem. Your talent isn't the problem. The real challenge is how you've been using these amazing gifts. Maybe to avoid growing instead of making it happen. But here's the empowering part. You can change this, starting right now. The way forward, leaning into growth. So, how do we start untangling all this and actually move ahead? The first non-negotiable step is to simply let go of that smart kid identity. It's not about saying you're not intelligent, but about realizing that basing your entire self-worth on it can seriously hold you back. When your value is tied to how effortlessly you succeed, you'll naturally avoid anything that might mess with that perfect image. And yes, that means you might even accidentally sabotage your own progress just to keep that fragile picture intact. The real fix? Build a totally new identity. One that's not about being smart, but about being willing to grow. This means you stop asking, what will make me look intelligent? And instead start asking, what will help me move forward? It's about dropping your pride and consciously stepping into discomfort. You let yourself try new things, and yes, be completely unskilled at them at first. You show up not to win, but just to be part of it. It'll be uncomfortable. It might even feel like you're going backwards, but trust me, it's not. It's the very first, honest step towards becoming a more complete and whole person. Your old identity whispered that your value came from being special, unique, extraordinary. The new one gently reminds you that your value comes from being human. And guess what? Being human means you're allowed to be unsure. You're allowed to grow slowly. You're allowed to feel lost. And you're absolutely allowed to not have a clear idea what you're doing half the time. But the only way forward is to just take action anyway. Not perfect action, not clever action, just honest, messy, human steps forward. This is what psychologists call a growth mindset. A fixed mindset often says, I'm either smart or I'm not. Challenges, from this view, are just scary reminders of your limits. But a growth mindset, it says, I can become smarter through effort. So, challenges aren't threats. They're chances to level up your abilities. And this isn't just positive talk. It's scientifically true. Your brain literally changes when you learn, building new connections through something called neuroplasticity. This amazing ability to change keeps going throughout your whole life. What does this mean for you? It means that struggling isn't a sign you're not smart. It's literally the feeling of your brain getting smarter. Those moments of confusion, frustration, and effort, they're not proof you've lost your edge. They're the only way to sharpen it. Just think about that for a second. What if the discomfort you've been avoiding is exactly what you need? What if being scared of not being naturally good at something has been keeping you from becoming exceptionally good at anything? This changes everything. Suddenly, putting in effort isn't embarrassing. It's totally necessary. Making mistakes isn't failing. It's valuable information. And being a beginner isn't shameful. It's just temporary, but only if you're willing to push through it. Let's get real about what embracing productive struggle actually means. We're not talking about just suffering for no reason, but the kind of effort that truly helps you grow. You need to tell the difference between two kinds of discomfort: the anxiety of avoidance versus the strain of growth. The anxiety of avoidance is that uncomfortable feeling you get when you're putting things off, overthinking, or just staying in your comfort zone. The strain of growth, on the other hand, is what you feel when you're genuinely pushing past your limits. One keeps you stuck, the other moves you forward, and surprisingly, they can feel pretty similar at the moment. The temporary relief you get from avoiding stuff always fades, while the satisfaction from growing just keeps building over time. Try this micro-risk approach. Instead of giant, scary leaps. Take tiny, daily risks that slowly stretch your comfort zone. Can't start that huge project? Just commit to 5 minutes of imperfect work. Scared of looking silly trying a new skill? Practice privately until you feel a little more confident. The key is to keep exposing yourself to just enough productive discomfort and not crushing yourself, but regularly pushing just beyond what you can currently do. This is how you build what psychologists call grit, that amazing ability to stick with things, even when they're tough, to reach your long-term goals. Remember, your past successes came easy because they were already in your comfort zone. Future growth means pushing beyond that, and yes, it'll feel unfamiliar. That discomfort isn't a warning sign. It's a signal that you're growing to pure freedom, loving not knowing. There's a deep sense of freedom that washes over you when you finally let go of needing to be the expert. It's called cultivating a beginner's mind, basically embracing not knowing as a liberating way to be, rather than a big limitation. As smart kids, we got rewarded for having answers, for being right, for knowing things. This accidentally created a curiosity kill switch, making us avoid anything that might show we didn't know. But there's this incredible freedom in just saying, you know what? I don't know, and real joy in actually discovering something new. Think about little kids learning something for the first time. They're not embarrassed that they don't know stuff. They're super excited about what they might discover. When did you lose that? When did learning become about proving how smart you were instead of just expanding what you know? This shift means practicing what psychologists call epistemic humility. Basically, seeing I don't know as a strength, not a weakness. It means approaching new topics with genuine curiosity instead of needing to show off your immediate mastery. The funny thing is, this approach actually makes you learn faster. When you're not burning brain power trying to seem smart, you can put all that energy into actually understanding. And the relief from this change is huge. You don't have to be the expert on everything anymore. You can just be a person who's always growing. Your power, building a richer identity and your own success. One of the coolest transformations happens when you start separating who you are from what you know or achieve. This is what psychologists call identity diversification, developing parts of your self-concept that aren't just about your brain power. For lots of us who were the smart kid, intelligence became the main thing defining us. So, when that main thing felt shaky, it felt like your whole self was at risk. Building a more diverse identity creates a rock-solid stability that can handle all the ups and downs life throws at you. This isn't about making your intelligence smaller. It's about making your self-definition bigger. What else really matters to you? What kind of friend are you? What values do you genuinely stand for? What brings you joy, totally separate from what you accomplish? Your intelligence is an awesome tool in your toolbox, absolutely, but it's not the whole picture of who you are. A practical way to do this diversification is what we call values excavation. Figuring out your personal ethics beyond just achievements. What matters to you even when no one's watching or clapping? Is it kindness, courage, creativity, fairness? These core values can become deep anchors for your identity that don't need outside approval. This shift does something pretty amazing. It changes achieving from a desperate attempt to prove your worth into a natural expression of your true, bigger self. You're not achieving to become someone. You're achieving because of who you already are. Now, it's time for a question that might make you really think. What does success really mean to you? Not to your parents, not to society, not to that third-grade teacher who saw your potential, but to you, the person you are right now. For many of us former smart kids, success has just been this vague idea of being super accomplished and recognized. But this idea we might have inherited might not be what actually brings you happiness and meaning. This is about post-capitalist success, thinking about achievement beyond just status, money, or how smart you are. It means really being honest with yourself. What activities make you so engaged you lose track of time? What contributions would make you feel like you have a purpose? What kind of life would feel both meaningful and something you can actually keep up with? The most freeing truth is this: you get to decide. Your worth isn't about grades anymore. Your value isn't measured by how fast you grasp things or how impressively you can talk about them. This isn't about lowering your standards. It's about making them more human. It's about setting expectations that account for how wonderfully complex it is to be a person, instead of just the simple idea of being a smart kid. The path forward isn't about desperately trying to get back some old glory or finally living up to your potential. It's about becoming whole, bringing all parts of yourself together, including your awesome intelligence, but without letting it limit you. It's about becoming a complete person who can handle life with authenticity and a deep sense of purpose. You weren't just meant to be exceptional, you were meant to be whole. And that journey from being super bright but a bit scattered to being a fully integrated self, that's the real potential you're here to fulfill. If any of this clicked with you, remember, that uncomfortable feeling you might have is not proof you're lost. It's a powerful signal that you're ready to grow beyond what used to define you. The very intelligence that might feel like it's holding you back can actually become your biggest strength when you point it towards this incredible journey of growth. You totally have the ability to figure things out, get amazing insights, and make changes that truly work once you're really ready to lean into the necessary struggle. This transformation won't happen overnight, but it's a daily practice. A constant choice to value growth over comfort, being real over looking good, and wholeness over fragmented brilliance. But with every little risk you take, every moment of productive struggle you push through, you'll build something way more valuable than easy wins. You'll build real capability and a self-concept that can truly handle anything. You were the smart kid, but please know that was just the start of your story, not the whole thing. It's about all the amazing things you'll discover now that you're finally free to explore the full, incredible you. I really hope this conversation has given you some clarity and a big boost of empowerment. If you found yourself nodding along or felt like something just clicked within you, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for the next video with another life-changing insight. Thank you for listening.